This week on People with Passion for Pets, I talked to Anine Colaire. Anine's passion for her pets inspire her beautiful sticker designs, and she offers her talented custom decals to her customers through her company Knicker Stickers. Well, thank you so much. Nice to meet you online.
Yeah, it's nice to see a face of my customer for a change.
Right? That's fun. So are you working from home?
I do. I work from home. I'm in my office. We converted our garage into a print shop. And
Nice.
so that's happening right now. They're producing all the orders.
But I am just so amazed because you draw all of these images yourself.
Yes, I have
Wow,
99% of it is all my drawings.
that's really cool. And I noticed, especially when it comes to the dog breeds, there are some very unusual dog breeds in there that some I had never even heard of.
Oh, I hadn't heard of them until somebody asked for them.
So that is something that you do. So if somebody
Yes.
kind of could call you and say, hey, I can't find my dog breed, you would then go ahead and
Yes.
make an image.
Yes, so rare breeds are something that I love to do, rare breeds. So there's some rare breeds that are more difficult to draw than others. There's a dog breed called a Puli, which is basically just a dog with a bunch of dreadlocks. Really hard to capture in a vector format, and which is the lines can't cross. So and we don't want it to be too complicated because these are all made by hand by us. So it's printed out and then on a one piece of vinyl, and then we use tweezers to pick out all the bits that don't belong.
Oh, okay.
And leave the design behind. So it have to be, when I'm drawing, then I have to take that into consideration. I can't have a ton of little bits. Some of the designs you can't get away from it. Paint horses, Appaloosas, Dalmatians, etc. They're just going to take longer to make. And so most of these are designed in a way to make them easily recognizable from a distance. I try to create a design that's going to be instantly somebody's going to recognize what the breed is if they have that breed. I mean, rare breeds, people are going to go, what the heck is that? But if somebody has a poodle pointer and they see somebody else with a poodle pointer decal, my idea is that's going to make these people connect. Because
Yes,
they'll be able to
exactly.
instantly recognize that's what that is.
Yeah, and I have to say, when you did ours for us with Heidi, the way she's standing, the Jack Russell Terrier with that back leg out, that's so typical for her. So
Oh yeah.
Immediately when I saw that on your website, I'm like, that's Heidi, and she is mostly white, and she just has that little bit of brown on one of her ears. So that was one thing I was like, okay, that's her. And then when I was looking for Apollo, you had that cute little sitting, and I loved just the way he said, because, so proud and all fluffy and cute. So yeah, they're just adorable. And I get
and
so many comments.
That knows who they are.
Yeah.
As is a Jack Russell as well. When someone says that looks just like my dog, that's the best. That's what I want to hear is, it's like, oh, that's just like Doodles. I like it, and
Perfect.
yeah. And the other thing with the rare breeds too is we found that when somebody requests a rare breed, you think, oh, we're never going to sell any of these. Nope. Then they go, as soon as they get it, they post it on the forum where the 200 people that have that dog contact me.
Exactly, because they can't get it anywhere else, right?
Right. Yeah, we want everybody to be represented. It's just the whole idea is the whole thing started because I wanted a decal of an Appaloosa, and I didn't like what was out there. And so I drew my own, and I had a printer print it up for me, and I put it on my truck, and went out to the barn. And then they were going, where did you get that? And so I made it. And so then they said, well, would you make one for me? And I did. And then a couple people had dogs, and I made those. And then someone said, well, you could probably sell these on eBay. This was back in 2004. And so my husband said, this is a great idea. You should go for it. I had in a previous life been a programmer. So I made my own website and drew a whole bunch of designs and put them up. So that's how it began. And my husband, God bless him, he's a plumber, so he made good money and he supported me for the next couple of years while I was building this all up. And then we got onto all the other platforms where now we're on Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Walmart, and we have our own website, and we're in a few pet stores around the world. One in Norway, one in Canada. I think that's like 5 in the United States that I have still. And then we have one in Australia.
And your customer service is awesome. I have to say that because, and just, to let our audience know, I had, a few years back, I had done the decals for our pickup truck and the back of our RV. And then we just purchased a new fifth wheel, and I wanted to have that same sticker because I just love it and people always talk about it. And so I contacted you and you're like, I got it, we got this. So that was awesome.
I archive every custom work that anybody's ever done. I archive it. If you let me know that we've done it for you before, I will find it. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of custom designs in our archives. And it's like, I can't even think of when I've never been able to pull up somebody's, send me a picture of what you had before, I will find it.
That's awesome. That means a lot, because otherwise you'd have to start from scratch.
Yeah. And it's something, you can't get it exact again. Everybody, you are not the only one that has contacted us after several years and asked for a redo of a decal. But fortunately, our decals do last for a very long time. It's usually when somebody gets a new vehicle that they want a new decal.
Exactly, because I tell you how many times I've had the pickup truck through the car wash. And, when I first got it, I was like, is this going to stay on? Because it's from the outside. It's not from the inside. Mm-hmm. And no, there's no problem whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like decals that crack and curl and stuff like that. So these are on my cars as well. And so it's, and when we had our horses, it was on our horse trailers as well. So it's the quality that I would want is what I want for my customers.
And that's what you were saying earlier. You said you started out with the horses. So you used to be a horse person with an Appaloosa.
Well, that's why it's called knicker stickers, because at first I was just drawing horses, and it's knicker like a horse knickers, And so then my husband came up with that name. He comes up with a lot of the clever phrases as well. He's a punster, and we like puns and decals go very well together.
That's true. And so the decals, you kind of cut out the background, and is that called a die cut? Is that right?
Yes, it's called a die cut. It's the artwork is called vector art, which is the same design that you would see like in woodworking and stuff, where lines can't cross. And so the design has to take its shape without the lines crossing, so that it's all one piece when you pull it off. I mean, there'll be sometimes on some of the designs, there'll be a lip or a hoof or something like that that's separate, but it's all on one transfer tape, so it goes on as one piece. So the design is cut out in a single piece of vinyl, and then weeded as the term that's referred to, where take tweezers and pick out the bits that don't belong, and then we put transfer tape over top of that and rub it down, and then that's how it's ready to go out and ship to people. We put directions on the back of it and include it in the packaging when we send it.
Yeah, and your directions are awesome. And it's, I remember the first time I got one of your stickers, I was a little bit like, my heart was beating. I'm like, I hope this goes on okay. But it's very, very easy. And in fact, I just made a video showing how I put it on, because we got a pretty large one for the back of the fifth wheel. And so I did make a video, and I'm going to go ahead and link that for our viewers in the top of the video here. But they're very easy to put on, so people shouldn't have to be afraid that they can't get it on there. And they're shipped in this beautiful protective roll for the big ones. So
yeah, we send them all in protective packaging because it's the post office. But 99% of the time they deliver on time. And to that, I mean, the post office has gotten a lot of heat recently about problems with them, but as far as we're concerned, most of the time they deliver just fine. And if they do lose a package, we will replace it. If it's damaged by the post office or they misplace it and don't deliver it, we'll just replace it for you.
That's awesome. And so, and of course, we'll show some of your website here. So ordering is real easy. You can just go to knickerstickers.com, and then you'll also see there's not just horses and dogs. There's all kinds of different animals that you have. You have cats.
Oh yeah, we continue. Everybody requests stuff. So we have whales and orcas and turtles, chinchillas, several different kinds of rabbits, several different kinds of goats, cattle, and I'm constantly adding. I'm adding stuff all the time. So if you don't see what you want, you just let me know what it is. Chances are I may have already drawn it, but I didn't get it posted yet, because after I draw the design, then I have to make all the images, and then I have to put them up on all the different platforms. And sometimes it doesn't take, it takes a while for me to get to doing all of that. So some designs are still in the works, and some of them I've started and I haven't finished. So it's always good to ask. We will do our best to try and get everybody a breed that they have. And if you have a dog that has a tipped ear and one ear up and one ear tipped, just let me know. We'll do our best to try. I say I have a whole collection of ears.
Oh, that's awesome.
That I've drawn. And I just, if somebody needs a dog that has an ear up and ear down, like somebody today asked me for that sitting Australian Shepherd, that like the one that you have, and they sent me a picture. My dog has one ear up and one ear down. I said, just put it in the go ahead and order it. Put a note in the comments. We'll put the ear up for you, and just let us know which side it's supposed to be on. I have spare ears for that purpose. Same thing with pit bulls. All the dogs that tend to have wonky ears. We'll do our best to try and match it if you ask us to.
That's fun. And you talked about some of the crossbreeds too. If somebody has like a mutt, could they send you a picture and you could try to make a custom one for them? Do you offer that?
Yes, we do. So someone with a mutt, they'll send me a picture of the mutt, and so oftentimes I'll already have something that matches. Some mutts look like a purebred, and doodles are a good example. There's anything that's been crossed with a poodle, I probably have something that will match it. Lately somebody asked me for a woodle, which I didn't know about, but apparently
what is that?
That's a Wheaton and a poodle. You can cross anything with a poodle or a corgi and get another great dog.
Yeah.
And I've got a ton of those, of various crossbreeds. And so if I can see what it looks like, usually I can find something that'll match it. And then of course the rare breeds, sometimes the rare breeds look like a crossbreed. And a perfect example is there's not a whole lot of difference, although people who have them will tell you there's a ton of difference between the Pomsky, which is a crossbreed, and the Alaskan Cleekai, which is a pure breed, but they look a lot alike. And so I can use the same image for both of them just by giving them different names.
That's perfect.
Yeah, somebody asked me for a Pomsky and sent me a picture, and I go, that looks a lot like the Cleekai. And I already had. And I sent it to him and they go, yep, that's my dog. So
that's awesome. And it's not just the image, but it's what I liked about it is that you're also able to put a custom text below. And that really just opens up all this thing, because you may have like a funny saying you want, you may have your dog's name, or just like me, you may put your website or your business name under there. So there's so many things that you can do with your decals.
Yes. So the custom text, the way that it works, and people are kind of off, the regular customers have gotten used to this, but the way that we do it, at first when we first had our website, we had it so people could design their own customs. But here's the thing, people aren't artists. And so they have trouble lining things up and getting it the way they want, and curving and things like that. And so we abandoned that. And so people just enter the custom text, and then I decide when I get it what I think is going to look good. And then people can review it or choose to just go with whatever I pick. So there's the choices are, yes, I'd like to preview this before you ship it, or nope, go ahead and send it as it is. We're good. And so a lot of my regular customers choose the latter. And people that are new to the site, they ask for a preview. And usually I do all of the drawings in the afternoons and send them in the mornings. So when I get custom work, it usually give us a 24 hours. If it's the weekend, sometimes I work on the weekend, sometimes I don't. Sometimes you won't get it till Monday, but I will make it look as nice as possible and with the directions that anybody has given to me. If they want a special font, most of the time we'll accommodate that. Some fonts don't work well as a decal, so we work with people to try and get it. And I have probably about 40 fonts that I use on a regular basis that I know that most people like and are modern, and I change those up to be, kind of stick with the times. Fonts are fun.
Yeah. And like you were saying, though, as an artist, you have a really good idea of what's going to show up, because sometimes I know when I print something, I design it and then I use this font because the font looks cool, but then you transfer it to something and all of a sudden it's like, you can't even read it from far away. Whereas, with the car decal, people are going to be driving on the freeway and they'll still see my decals and find my website. So that's what I like.
Yeah, we try to use, if people are using business names and stuff, we try to use a font that can be seen well, because that's the whole point of why they're getting the decal in the first place, is they want it to be seen. And then sometimes people want silly texts like crazy goat lady. Well, then we're going to use a fun font, something that's going to wrap around and look silly, and because that's kind of the whole idea of it.
And so one of the things that I noticed is when I was on your website is that you don't just do car decals, you do all kinds of other stuff now too.
Well, we do offer, we have partnered with Amazon merch, which sells t-shirts and things, and Redbubble. Redbubble's our big one. We do a lot of business with Redbubble. So we upload the designs on, and so we can sell through Redbubble, which we get a commission for. And it's got everything, t-shirts and sweatshirts and mugs and totes. And so we upload designs to that. And if somebody doesn't find what's there, they just let me know and I will create it and upload it so that it's available. I had somebody today ask me for a quarter horse sweatshirt. So now they have available the quarter horse on the design that they wanted that I didn't have posted. I have so many designs, as you can imagine, it takes a long time to post them, all of them.
Yeah.
So I just kind of put a bunch of them up there. I tried every week to try and post more stuff on our Redbubble and Amazon accounts. And then hopefully, people will find what they're looking for. And if not, just let us know and we'll get them uploaded.
Perfect. That's awesome. So if somebody like me wanted to have like a custom t-shirt with our logo and our website, we could do that too.
Yes, we do that as well. We will upload it for you and it'll stay there forever and you can buy what you want whenever you want.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to get back with you on that.
Yeah. Redbubble often has coupons too. So then they'll work on the website and the Redbubble's lovely because when coupons are used, they don't take it off of our commission. They take it off of their end, which is nice.
That's nice. Yeah. Especially for a small business.
Yes. Every little bit.
So going back to the card decals that you make in your shop, you do offer wholesale pricing. So if somebody designs like a sticker for their business, they could get more. These are not just onesies. You could have like multiples.
Yes. Oh, we do. Yeah, we do wholesale orders every week. Then so it's the minimum for wholesale is if it's the die cut style. We do both stickers, printed stickers, and die cuts for wholesale, and the wholesale is a minimum of just 40 decals to get a wholesale price. And then for the stickers, it's 100, but they're way cheaper and easier to print and easier to make. So it's yeah. In fact, we have a whole wholesale section on our website for our regular wholesale purchasers, and that includes nonprofits as well as pet stores.
And so then I kind of want to ask, do you ship anywhere in the world?
We used to. However, the post office changed the shipping so that it's not as reliable and is 3 times as expensive.
Hmm.
So we ship to the United States and Canada on a regular basis.
But I mean, if somebody goes to your website, contacts you directly, they can certainly work something out if they're in another
Yes.
country.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah, we just talk to them and let them know, okay, well, here's the circumstances. So usually what it is, for example, we had somebody from Australia recently, a regular customer. And she said, "You're not shipping to Australia anymore." She went to there, and I go, "Well, we will, but it's really expensive. So, maybe kind of like get together with some of your friends and order a bunch, and then we can ship it to you, and make sure that it gets there. We'll ship it in such a fashion that it'll get that it's reliable." And that's exactly what she did. She ordered enough to make it worth it to ship to her. She just went to her dog park and collected orders.
Oh, good idea. Yeah, there you go. So I want to talk a little bit about your pets. Tell us who you have.
Okay, so right now, so we used to have a lot more, and we used to live out in the country, and we had goats and horses and a whole menagerie and chickens and everything else. But now we've pared down. So we have one West Highland White Terrier, Kina, and then we have 2 cats, Beezus and Ramona, Beverly Clary, and then we have a turtle, Toka, that was a rescue, and then a whole bunch of fish.
Sorry, my dad used to be an avid, having fish tanks and all kinds of different, he had saltwater and sweetwater fish. So.
Right. I did saltwater many years ago, but that's too much of work for me now. But I do have balance, not the turtle tank. It has to be cleaned on a regular basis, but the other ones are all balanced tanks that don't have to be scooped out all the time.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure that we share all of your contact information. And is there anything else about your business you want our viewers to know?
Let everybody know that we're going to offer a coupon code for this, MCS.dog. Just enter it in when you check out and get 15% off your entire order at knickerstickers.com.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we'll make sure we'll share that as well.
I can't say how much I appreciate. I mean, our businesses, we get a lot of new people, but I rely heavily on our repeat business, and we get a ton of it. I'm very appreciative for all the referrals that people give for us, and we just have great customers. Yeah. And I'm so glad I got into pets, because animal people are the greatest customers.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for being on the show. This is such a fun interview. And, again, we'll have your website and the media links in the description below the video.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the information. And until next time, keep your paws on the road.